Hey everybody, it's Michael Sullivan, and I've got a great guest today to share a really cool story of his background. He's been doing this a long time, so he has a ton of experience and wisdom to share with everyone today. And Philip Nitollama, thank you, sir.
Sure. Thank you, Michael, for providing me with this opportunity to share my story. Hi, everyone. My name is Philip Nitiyama. I'm currently serving as the city traffic engineer for the city of Riverside. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. What's your favorite part of what you do that gets you out of bed, gets you in the car, gets you out to Riverside? What do you love about what you do?
Well, like you've said, I've worked at two public agencies. I work in the public sector, specifically the Public Works Department, in the traffic engineering division. So I've been the city traffic engineer twice for two different cities. The most favorite part of my job, I would say, is the ability to enhance the community's quality of life
Mm.
from a traffic, transportation, and mobility standpoint. You know, I work with a lot of the community, go to meetings, and I'll hear their requests. We need more active transportation, more sidewalks, more bike lanes, in addition to making it safer for vehicles. So I usually have a long list of unfunded improvement requests, and we really try to deliver on those improvements. I try to do several approaches to make that delivery. The first one is the cities will have capital improvement programs, and we have money for paving, for example, and we allocate some of that money for crosswalks and curb ramps and even sidewalks. So that's one way to deliver things. The second one is when there's a developer that comes into town and they're building a building and they just happen to touch that sidewalk where somebody asked for more sidewalk, then we can condition them to do sidewalk or crosswalks. And then the third approach that I use is grant funding. I pursue a lot of traffic safety grants and active transportation grants. They kind of supplement the city's money and stretch the dollar a little further. Usually there's a small local match of 10% or 20%, and then the grant funds the rest of the construction costs and design costs. So that's how I approach trying to deliver for the community. And once it's built out there, I'll usually get a thank you note. After a while, I save those for my performance reviews because you rarely ever get a thank you note. But if you get an opportunity to thank your local agency for the work they do, definitely give them an email. They'll definitely appreciate it and will remember you. So those are some of the favorite parts of my job is to be able to deliver to the community.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. I love that. And are they actually sending you, Philip, like an old school handwritten thank you note, or is it an email or
Oh,
both?
I get both. Yeah, I
Wow.
think the old school letters are really standard. I have to scan it to include it in my performance review, but I appreciate both of them. What I actually do is I have like a little wall in front of my desk where every thank you note I get, I'll just post it on there.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
that was really cool. I gotta share this with you. I participated in a career fair for a middle school last year,
Hmm.
this Chimawa Middle School, and I presented what I do to I think there was five classes, and they were all seventh graders.
Oh, cool.
And the following week, I get maybe 20 to 25 thank you little post-it cards.
Hmm.
They're just like the little 3x5 cards
Yeah.
from the students. And that was amazing. It felt great, and I have it on my wall. So that was a really cool thank you note that I received for participating in their career day. And I may have sparked the interest of, one or two students to become an engineer. So that was really neat.
That
Yeah.
is cool. That's super cool. How you're paying it forward, and
Yes. Yep.
breathing or sparking that interest, like you said, into the young kids. That's
Yes.
cool.
That's correct.
And what about maybe least favorite? Parts that you notice are areas. Maybe there's challenge spots, and you see a little a gap and you're trying to bridge that. Maybe what are some of those things that you've run into?
Um, so there are, uh, I would say, restrictions or
Mm,
limitations
mm,
to what we can and cannot do.
mm,
Sometimes it's programmatic, and we'll set up, for example, we set up a speed hump program.
mm,
Unfortunately, there's more requests than we have money
mm.
to install speed humps for all the neighborhoods. So unfortunately, there are moments when I'm going to have to say no to a resident, and they're not happy about that. We'll try to do other traffic calming features such as signage and striping, but it's not necessarily what they asked for.
Right.
Other times there are environmental concerns or state regulations that prohibit us from moving forward on a certain project, and unfortunately, we can't deliver it. We'll have to wait until we can address those concerns as well. So those things aren't my favorite part when we have to say no because of a budgetary constraint or a regulatory compliance constraint. Those things aren't fun at all. So that's the least favorite part of my job. So.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I can see and can feel that you have a heart to make the community safer, and you said that was your opening line, right? When shared what you do and how you love to enhance the safety of a community. So I could see how that's hard for you. It'd be hard for me too if there's a family that's saying, "Hey, there's people flying down this road. We have kids. We want speed bumps." And you're like, "Oh, we can't," So I can see your heart for that, and that's awesome. And if there's maybe a young Philip out there in seventh grade, like you did, which is amazing, and maybe they're watching this. Maybe it's a fifth grader, sixth grader, middle schooler, high schooler, and they're going, I don't know, maybe civil engineering. What should I do when I grow up? What would you say to him or her?
I would say go for it. Take advantage of the opportunities that you get. They may not be there later. Sometimes you overthink things and it's really going to be difficult, or you procrastinate. I'll do it
Mm,
later. I'll do
mm,
it next year or the following year. Well, sometimes that slows down the progress, and those opportunities may not come up later. So you should take advantage and just go for it, and get all the help you can get, make that commitment. And then you might have mentors along the way. You may have friends that are going through the same struggle, and they can help you out. So that's really what my advice would be. Just go for it, take advantage of the opportunities you have, and you can proceed forward. The other thing that I noticed, a lot of engineers, they like to do the calculations and analysis, but they don't like to advocate for themselves,
mm,
verbally and
mm.
publicly, and speaking and using platforms,
Right,
right, like social media and podcasts to really advocate for the work that they do.
right.
So that part, I've heard a lot of engineers say, well, my work speaks for itself.
Mm,
Well, why can't you do both? Why
mm,
can't you show your great work publicly by speaking and also do great work?
mm.
You could do both to advocate for yourself. So those are my two advice and encouragements, and just go for it, and really use the public platforms to advocate for yourself. Those are two lessons that I've learned throughout my career that really helped me well. So.
That's awesome. And Philip, thank you so much, man, for carving out some time. I know you have a busy day, so thank you for sharing your heart. Thank you for sharing your experience and wisdom, and your encouragement for the future generation. So thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mike, for inviting me and providing me with this opportunity. This is great what you're doing. The podcast is a real way to connect to people today.
Wherever people go, one signal at a time, one project, one design, making tomorrow brighter than today. They're building better communities, keeping families safe on every street, helping traffic move, helping dreams come true, making